everybody, and welcome back to my channel for this Thursday morning, afternoon or evening across the world where you may be at. And today I have another positive autism news story for you, again from the BBC, but this is from the BBC Sports section, and it's about the UFC fighter talking about his autistic son. It's Tom Aspinall, UFC heavyweight, talks about his son's autism diagnosis. This was uploaded on the 18th of October, so again, I'm bringing this to you a little late, but I thought it would be a good story to cover and to bring to your attention as an autistic woman. I thought it was important to talk to you about it. So we're going to scan down and read what it says. So the headline is Tom Aspinall, UFC heavyweight, talks about his son's autism diagnosis. The article was written by Mark Gatford for BBC Sport, and it's under the mixed martial arts category. And here is the picture of Tom Aspinall, who is the UFC heavyweight and has 3 children, one of which is autistic. So we'll scan down to what the article actually says. I didn't want there to be something wrong with my son, but when you start to learn about autism, you learn there's not something wrong with them. It's just a different way that their brain works. UFC heavyweight contender Tom Aspinall is recalling the time one of his sons got an autism diagnosis and said he was in denial at first. Inside the cage, Aspinall has the measure of a future world champion, but the 30-year-old is first and foremost a loving father to his eldest son, aged 7, and twin 4-year-old boys. In 2021, when the UK was under a coronavirus lockdown, one of the twins began to fall behind with his speech and other key developmental milestones. We'd say his name and he would not look at you or make eye contact, says Aspinall, as he drives from his training base to the family home in Greater Manchester. If you told him off, he wouldn't respond. I was always like, he'll catch up. He's just not as socialised as usual because of the lockdown. Then I watched a programme with Paddy McGuinness, who did the autism documentary with his now ex-wife, Christine McGuinness, who's also come out as autistic in the press. The BBC documentary Paddy and Christine McGuinness, Our Family in Autism, tells the story of TV personality McGuinness's 3 autistic children. By chance, Aspinall had then the opportunity to mention his son to McGuinness, where they were booked on the same TV show. McGuinness, who likes Aspinall, has 3 children, including twins, admitted he was also reluctant to confront signs that his eldest child could be autistic, and his advice to Aspinall was clear: push for a diagnosis. The National Autistic Society describes autism as a lifelong developmental disability which affects how people communicate and interact with the world. Typical symptoms may include difficulty communicating and understanding how other people think, an aversion to bright lights or loud noises, getting anxious about unfamiliar situations and taking longer to understand information, and doing or thinking the same things over and over. Aspinall's son, who had demonstrated some of those traits, was diagnosed after his 3rd birthday. A year on, Aspinall speaks thoughtfully about his unique interactions with the world. We'll keep on scanning down here. He's really social. He loves strangers, says Aspinall. He'll go and sit on everybody's knee. I know some autistic children and they can't be around strangers at all. Every autistic person and the child is completely different, and you have to know their triggers and what sets them off. If there's something that overwhelms for him, he won't communicate. He'll shut down straight away. Sometimes with autistic people, and children in particular, they are perfectionists. So if a toy, for example, isn't moving in the way they want it to move, they can be the end of their little world. Aspinall also says his son doesn't understand danger. We were at my dad's surprise 60th at this beautiful house, he says. They had a big lake there and he just went to jump straight in, absolutely no hesitation. Aspinall describes his understanding of autism as in its infancy, but says he has a drive to use his platform as a mixed martial art artist to increase awareness, understanding, and acceptance so people and parents of autistic children can feel empowered in daily life. My kid doesn't understand making a mess and what's right and wrong, so he might get in the supermarket and start pulling stuff off the shelf. He said that's hard as a parent because you sometimes have people looking at you and you know they're thinking, will you sort your kid out? If people were more aware, it would make it a little bit more easier. And again, this is the picture of Tom Aspinall. There is a video there for you to watch, but I'm not going to play it due to copyright reasons because I don't want BBC striking me. But you can watch that on your own leisure. Aspinall also emphasises the importance of parents seeking a diagnosis if they have concerns. The heavyweight fighter has witnessed improvements in his 4-year-old son's ability to communicate and express emotion in the year following his diagnosis. He won't use speech to communicate as such, says Aspinall. He has a picture of different opinions he might want to snack on. So if he goes into the kitchen, he's got a picture of an apple, a banana, and a rice cake. Today he picked it up and pointed out what he wanted and said what he wanted. This is a massive step for us. And now when you say his name and then you can say, can you give me a hug? He'll run over and give you a hug and then go off and do what he's doing. It's absolutely massive because the ages of 2 and 3, he wouldn't even look at you or answer to his name. It just gives you hope of moving forward. And it says, if you have any issues and been affected by the issues raised in this article, there's more support on the BBC Action Line. So that's the end of the article. I'm just going to scan back up so you can see it's a legit BBC article. I do have some facts about Tom Aspinall, who you see in the picture there. He is 30 years old. He's a UFC fighter. He weighs 258 pounds. He's from Salford. He trains at Team Calabon. He's had 10 wins by knockout, 3 wins by submission, 12 first-round finishes. His striking accuracy, he's landed 124. His attempted strikes is 187. He's landed 2 takedowns, 4 attempted takedowns. His average fight time is 2 minutes and 19. He's won his last 2 matches, which was July the 22nd, 2023, of time 1 minute 13, and March the 19th, 2022, where he won in 3 minutes 45. His fighting style is freestyle. He first debuted in the UFC on March 21st, 2020. He's been a pro UFC fighter since 2014, has won 9 out of the last 10 of his fights, has finished all wins in first round. He's had 5 wins in under a minute. His shortest win time was 10 seconds, and he has a reported 6.0 amateur record. So he's also said he wants to use his platform as a mixed martial arts artist to increase awareness and understanding and acceptance so parents and people can feel empowered in their public life, which I love that. I think it's really great that a mixed martial arts artist has come out in the press to talk about his son. I think it's absolutely brilliant that he's raising the public profile, the public acceptance, the public awareness about autism and bringing out the discussion. As an autistic woman, I feel it's important for me to raise this with you because it's something that is important to me. It's important to you guys in my community, on my channel. It's important to my family, to many families across the world who deal with someone with autism. So what are my thoughts about Tom Aspinall, the UFC fighter? My thoughts about him raising the diagnosis story is really being an advocate for the acceptance and understanding. It's an incredible source of strength that he has shown that autism isn't a bad diagnosis. He's encouraging people to be more understanding and to research it, to feel more empowered. I think by Tom speaking out and standing up, it will help better with public understanding, especially with parents, carers, professionals, and to include autistic people in society like myself, and to help better empowerment. I'm glad that he admits still that he's still researching it and that it's in its infancy of him finding out more about it. So I will link the article down below in the video description. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.